Hello everyone, Thomas Wooden Railway here, and welcome to another Thomas Wooden Railway discussion. Today we're going to take a look at the Sodor Railway Repair, a character only featured in the Railway series. He never appeared in the TV series, and is, for the most part, considered a rare item in the Thomas Wooden Railway line. The Sodor Railway Repair was sold from 1998 to 2001, and if you've watched some of the previous discussions that I've done, I've been referring to this item a lot simply because it's the perfect example of a character who Learning Curve decided to make a model of, but the fact that this character never appeared in the TV series and was never able to gain any fans or recognition or anything like that shows that these types of models do not sell well. I mean, 1998 to 2001 really isn't that long of a time, considering, engines such as Thomas and Percy and Toby have been selling since day one. So the Sodor Railway Repair is a fairly interesting model. There's nothing like it at all in the Thomas Wooden Railway line. In the Railway series, it was seen in one story at the beginning of the story, Ballast, and it's pictured as basically its job is just to go along the line and place ballast or rocks along the line and in between the tracks so that the weeds don't grow. And it doesn't speak at all. It's just a picture of it in the opening part of Ballast, and it's a picture of Sir Topham Hatt and some workmen standing there, and in the background you can barely see him, but there's actually I believe it's either Donald or Douglas, of course, but in the Railway series Donald and Douglas were painted blue. So this character doesn't speak in the Railway series and is really unknown. We know absolutely nothing about this character. So a lot of people jump at the opportunity when they introduce this character into their series, and they completely make something up because we don't have any history to follow. Some people give this item a name, some people do not. It's a standard gauge item. But just the fact that it doesn't have the name and the fact that it doesn't have any history kind of makes some people a little bit cautious and wary about introducing it into the series. So the Sodor Railway Repair is a three-part item, and we're just going to kind of split it up here so that because it's way too long to do it all at once. So this is the first part, and really this is just the engine part, essentially, the Sodor Railway Repair. These details along the side here, if you remember from my Butch review, these details are technically supposed to be in 3D, but because it's classic Thomas Wooden Railway, they just kind of painted them on. So in a way they do look a little bit weird, but at the same time they're cool. Overall, this model is fairly accurate to what it appeared like in the Railway series. One notable change is if you own the story Ballast, or have read the story, or at least have seen the picture, you'll notice that in the story, whatever you want to call this guy, just the Sodor Railway Repair, I guess, his face is actually black. And I remember reading somewhere, because in the Railway series there are two types of faces. One face is a white face like this, and it clearly stands out. For example, Thomas and Percy and Diesel, for example, have this type of face. But then there's also a second type of face that appears, and it's not white. It's just the color of the engine. And a nice example of that would be Spam Can. That's why Spam Can has a yellow face, and I believe this is to represent that the face and the engine are one. I know that sounds kind of weird, and I don't know why they did it, but there is some weird reason behind it that the Reverend W. Audrey had. So in the Railway series, this guy's face was actually black, but for some reason they decided not to keep it black and just changed it to a standard white face that, for the most part, all Thomas Wooden Railway items receive. I find this part of the model really interesting. It appears as though it could be, you could see it being one of those vehicles that could transition between water and road. Maybe it's just because this part right here kind of looks like a boat. I don't know. The work on this is really nice. Most of it's wood. I believe the only two parts that aren't wood are this in the face, and then also this part right here. This is plastic as well, so three parts. My model of the Sodor Railway Repair is missing this back part here. When I bought this off of eBay, I actually didn't notice it was missing, and honestly, it doesn't bug me. It's supposed to just be another chute for the ballast to go down, and you don't need to have it, but I've noticed a lot on eBay that a lot of these are missing, and I guess they just came off really easily, and you know what? That's the end of that. So this part of the model is really nice. Another part I'll add is the yellow glasses. They're technically supposed to be safety goggles, I guess, because the Sodor Railway Repair does a lot of hard work, but They kind of look like glasses to me, so maybe I guess it'd be this model and Whiff are the only two Thomas Wooden Railway models to have eyewear in a sense. So this is a really cool model, nice bright yellow color, kind of looks like a bumblebee in a sense with the black and yellow. But other than that, I'm going to place this part of the model over here, and let's move on to the second part. And this is, I'm just going to call it the chute. I know there's like a really technical term and I won't get into that stuff. As you could tell, no names on the bottom. This is from 1998, the first year it was introduced. So these are just the ballast chutes, and for those who don't know, ballast is just a type of rock. So that's really what they're doing in the story Ballast. They're just going along the line and placing rock in between the tracks so that the weeds don't grow and that the railway looks nice. What's really cool about these is they spin, so you can turn these either which way, and the whole idea is that the rocks fall down this and then they fall through the bottom of the car and onto the track below. This part's plastic, but this is wood right here. Nothing too special about this model. I mean, it does its job, but at the same time, I mean, there could be added detail, I guess, but overall, it's still a nice piece. And then we'll roll on to the final part of this item, and it's this kind of lone, unfortunately, kind of, just regular standard ballast car, a troublesome truck, except it doesn't have a face. What's really interesting about this part is that in the Railway series, you can't actually see this part of the ballast spreader or the Sodor Railway repair. And so the only two parts that you see are the engine and this. Oh, sorry, Sir Topham Hatt. And so it's really unclear if the Sodor Railway repair even has this car in the Railway series because you can't see it. But like I said in an earlier discussion, learning curve is into the big 3-packs, and so that's probably why they added this car back here. It makes sense. You need as much ballast as you can get, and they would probably honestly have these types of trucks waiting behind the Sodor Railway repair, so it makes sense. It's just a very bland car, for those who have the Sodor Railway repair out there, my number says 6773. I would presume they'd all have the same number, but if yours doesn't, please let me know. That'd be kind of interesting. No name on the bottom. It's just a standard truck. I wish it would have had a face, but you know what? That doesn't make or break the model for me. So that's really it to this Thomas Wooden Railway discussion. On a scale of an A to an F, I'd probably give it a B minus. There's just, it's a cool model. I've been wanting to get it for a while, but at the same time, there's just nothing, that stands out to me as special. And, to kind of lead into that, why I gave it a B minus is because, you don't really need to have this item in your collection. And that would be my next question is, do I think you should get it? You don't really need to have this model in your collection, honestly. The fact that, it doesn't have a name, it doesn't have any history, it's a cool item, that's for sure, but you know what, I've done just fine without it. It's really up to you. I'd probably say, you know what, you don't need this item in your collection, honestly. It's a nice item, it's cool, it's interesting, there's nothing else like it, but you know what, I guess if I were to feature this in an episode, it kind of seemed out of place to me, and that's another thing. I don't know if I'll be featuring this in an episode or not. It'd be cool to, but you know what? It's just kind of seems like one of those Thomas Wooden Railway items that, you just don't include in a series. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. So that's the end of this Thomas Wooden Railway discussion on the Sodor Railway repair. Please leave your comments and questions below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So once again, thank you for watching this Thomas Wooden Railway discussion. I hope you had a good time, and of course, I hope to see you here back again soon.